Hi everyone, I'm here with Shon Kokoszka. We are finishing up our SOAR coaching, and he's given us the privilege of interviewing him, which was one of our big takeaways from his class on adding value to our fan base. Hopefully you guys will get some value. We're going to be interviewing a lot more successful people such as Shon, and he's our first of the next 52 weeks.
Well, I'm honored, and thank you so much. All right, so you had a list of questions for me. Let's just dive in, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
So my name is Sandra Daniels with First Story Realty. My husband, Troy Daniels, is behind the camera. And
which, by the way, you're exemplifying something real quick that I just want to point out, is when you have an opportunity to interview somebody, show up prepared. Show up with a list of questions that's going to add value to you, your team, and everybody you come in contact with. So be intentional, right? Just like Sandra D's doing right for us here.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so how long have you been changing people's lives through coaching?
Sandra, I've always been kind of that coach at heart, right? When I first got into real estate and I started finding out what worked, what didn't work, I started coaching my team. I then started, thanks to people like Howard Brinton, thanks to organizations like iReal, iSucceed.com, National Association of Realtors, they gave me the stage to do what I thoroughly enjoy doing. So I would say since I was about 23 years old, I've been in that trainer, mentor, kind of coach role, yet I'll tell you the one thing that's impacted my ability to do that for others is to do it myself with a mentor, a coach, a trainer to teach me what I lack, because nobody knows everything, there's no doubt about that, and it's those that are just thirsty for knowledge, that are the sponges of this industry, that really can apply that knowledge that they gain and really impact their career's trajectory and the trajectory of others.
That's great, that's awesome. So 23 years, so you've been doing it for about 5 years now? Since you were 23 years old?
Yeah. So yeah. I'm 29, actually.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, 6 years.
I'm 47. I wish.
So what inspired you to start coaching, start changing lives through coaching?
I'll tell you, there's a certain amount of fulfillment that people who do what I do, that they gain from it. So many, and let me just say the converse of that, there are a bunch out there, those coaches that they view the people that they're coaching or that they're training as though they've got a $100 bill attached to their forehead, right? It's a passionate pursuit of something beyond money. Now that something for me is to establish a course of action, a plan, if you will, that an individual can implement and deploy within their current model that's going to absolutely, positively be the catalyst to increase their production and their profit. So that's why I do what I do, is just to see others succeed.
Right, and that's what we're trying to do, is give back through us and share with everybody else, and
that's what
get
we're
a little
doing.
taste of you.
Yeah,
exactly.
No doubt about it.
So we won't hold you to this next question because I know you're just kind of impromptu, but to the best of your knowledge, how many lives would you say you changed over the years and impacting?
That's one of my favorite questions. And I would say just one. It's mine.
Wow.
Mine, more than anybody else's.
You didn't tell me to bring the tissue now, okay.
Now, I will tell you that, yes, we're the catalyst of change, yet I don't change anybody's life. It's up to them to take the knowledge, to take the skills, to impact their mindset and their habits. They've really only impacted me, or I've only impacted me. That's all I can say.
That's awesome. I love that. So share with us, if you will, one or two success stories of maybe somebody that thought you changed, something that was very impactful, that you made an impact on their life. Not necessarily change it, but you made an impact on their life.
Thank you. One stands out first above all others. I was hired to do a mastermind up in Dallas, Texas. And it was about 15 minutes before I was going to take the stage, and here comes this gal, walks into the room, and she's the type of woman that you just can't help but notice when she walks in the room, right? It's due to her determination. You can just sense it, this bottom line grit that she had, and she literally just walked up to me intentionally, like an intentional walk, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Walked right up to me, put out her hand and said, "I'm so-and-so," her name's Kelly, she shakes my hand very firmly, and she said, "I can't sit here for 4 hours, just give me the cliff notes," right? Which is just kind of a bottom line way of saying, "Shon, if you suck, I gotta leave early." So I got to know Kelly a little bit. I learned that she had 16 team members, 16 people on her team. She was a top producer. She closed out about $172 million, and this was in 2016 that she had closed out about $172 million in production. I learned that she won award after award. She was very well known in her community. And I also learned that she was completely and utterly miserable. I mean, this business had consumed her, right? She had an 8-year-old son, and she couldn't attend his soccer practices. She missed 90% of his soccer games. And because of that lack of balance within her life, or the inability to give to her loved ones, I mean, she did financially really well. She gave to her family. Yet in terms of time, she couldn't do it. So not only did she sit down, she actually stayed for all 4 hours. I shared with her my methodology of organizational structure, which we're going to get into today in session 4 of the SOAR program. What I learned is that she had 16 people on her team, yet all 16 people reported directly to her, that she managed all 16 people. Now there's a term called span of control, which is a military term, meaning those people that you can effectively manage, that can effectively report to you. And the military will tell us it's anywhere from, say, 3 would be ideal, yet the maximum of 5 people you can effectively manage. Now she's attempting to manage 16 people. She's working 70 hours a week, and she doesn't have a life. So she not only sat there for 4 hours, she immediately engaged Icon for one-on-one coaching. Now she had closed out 2016 at 172 million, and 2017 she didn't do 172 million though. She had 243 million in total production. She took 3 week-long vacations, something she hadn't been able to do for years and years prior. She's attending her son's soccer games and just as happy as she can be, right? So we got her down through the implementation of the structure of the model we're going to learn today. She was able to get down from 70 hours per week down to about 45 hours per week and go on a vacation without babysitting her phone every minute, right?
Yeah,
So
I love that.
It's a powerful method.
That's where I need to get is not let the business control me.
We'll get you there.
Control it. I love that. So people have different opinions on the most important part of their tombstone. So is it the year you were born? Is it the day you passed away? I personally believe, and I know you do too, in the dash. So what type of the dash is the legacy? It's what you leave behind. It's not when you were born or when you passed away, but what you did in between. What type of legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want to live your dash?
I would sum that up in my purpose statement, if you will. It's to be a husband that's respected, to be a father that's emulated, and to be a businessman that has a substantial and profound impact on the business trajectory, production, and profit of every individual I come in contact with. So that's what it is.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. I appreciate that.
Hey, emotion creates energy, does it not?
Yes. Yeah,
Logic,
I feel it.
Logic just makes us think. Yet when you embrace that emotion, it makes you take action. There's no doubt.
Right. And so we know successful people, like, what do you do the first 2 hours of your day, and what do the last 2 hours of your day look like? Because I know that those are super important, how you start your day and how you finish your day.
Undoubtedly. Well, the first 2 hours of the day, there's a ton of things that happen in the first 2 hours of the day. Yet it's a 100% focus on the 20% activities of my business, right? Now, the 20% activities of my business are content creation, it's lead generation, it's marketing, and it's really planning throughout the rest of the day. So I think it first begins with planning the day, because if you don't invest the time to do your strategic thought, just planning that day intentionally, well, then your day controls you instead of you controlling your day. So it's a matter of creating a list of what you could do to then apply Pareto's principle to it, right? To say, okay, 20% of this list is going to yield at least 80% of the results. So what's the 20% of my list today? To establish priority, and I'm going to reference my past business partner's work, Gary Keller. He came up with what we call the focusing question, right? It's at the core of that book that he wrote, The One Thing, with Jay Papasan. And it's what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. So I'll take a list of my could-do list, and I start asking that question. The funny thing is that when I generate an answer and I move that over to my should-do list from my could-do list, then I ask myself the question, based on me doing this, what on this could-do list can I simply eliminate from my laundry list of things I could do? And it's amazing when you identify the powerful answer, you move it over and you scope over to this other list, you start crossing a whole bunch of other things off the list. Then once you can't cross anything else off, you ask the question again, what's the one thing out of this could-do list that I can do such by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? You identify an answer, now you've got your second priority. Now recognizing it's not just about one thing, right? It's about one thing at a time.
Right.
So a lot of planning goes into that, and then it's about content creation, then it's about marketing, and then it's about lead generation, lead follow-up, just like a real estate agent. I mean, we're constantly lead generating, we're in that pipeline phase of our business, getting into that momentum phase, getting into the leverage phase, and so on and so forth. Now the last 2 hours is completely and totally different day after day after day, and I know that's not what you want to hear, because when you do the AM hours of the day right, Well, the PM hours, well, that's controlled with appointments, it's controlled with contract negotiation, it's controlled with, other conversations that are going to lead you to the next conversation. So, boy, I'd say the last thing I do, though, every single day is to organize my office completely. Because when I have clutter around, then I find that it distracts me, right? I see a piece of paper, I say, oh, I need to do that. And instead of doing what I should do, I start doing what I could do. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So the last thing of the day is just to organize my office, because when I can start the day with organization in place, that helps me get to the next level of the business.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And then, so how through coaching and mentoring, and you continue to be coach, you continue to grow yourself, how has yours and your family's life been changed?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, as they say, practice what you preach, right? Now, we talk about no complaining, we talk about no justification, we talk about no blame, right? That our life is where it is because it's taking personal responsibility. So within our household, no blaming, no complaining, no justifying, practicing what we preach to really leverage this little thing to make certain that our mindsets are right, that we're focused on seeing the best in each other, wanting the best for each other, and expecting the best from each other is a powerful way to approach that familial type lifestyle.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Shon, and thank you everyone for watching. We do want to let you know that if you wanted to get in touch with Shon, you can go to iconcoachinre.com. You can message us below, and we'll get you in touch with him as well. So thank you. We hope you all make it a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.